Welcome, everyone. I am excited to share another vision with you that I had in prayer time with my friend. And again, this is one that I just feel has universal uh, implications or applications, if you will. And so I just really felt led to share this. So, in this particular vision during our quiet time, I saw this really long, large, and high brick wall. And you couldn't see on the other side of it at all. But on the side that I was standing on, I would see people who would go up to the wall and try to climb it, but they couldn't climb it. Others would try to knock it down by running up against it, which honestly looked ridiculous to me, or kick it or hit it, or some would even maybe try to take a sledgehammer to it, but nothing moved the wall. And then there were other people on the side of the wall with me, and we were simply acknowledging that there's a wall, like acknowledging there's a boundary there and living in acceptance to its existence. And it was like we would maybe just sit together or have a picnic or find something to do. And sometimes things might not always be easy, but there was a place of living within the confines of there's a wall there, and we would pray at times, whatever. We would exist within that boundary. And then what I saw is when people, myself and others, were maybe in a hard place, and we would sit and pray, even maybe crying out or just crying, that again, the Lord has used these little white Hunger Game parachute things in another vision. But if you've seen the Hunger Games, you know that when they were in the games, these little parachutes with things that they needed to help them in their situation or in their circumstance, they would come to some of the people in the games. And so as we would pray, or as people would pray, these little white parachutes would come over the wall and go specifically to those people who were crying out or who were praying. So as I sat with the vision, I understood that the wall was a barrier that God had placed between what he has revealed or what he had chosen to keep secret, or even his sovereign choices, what he chooses to give or withhold for his own purposes or his own plans or his own good beneficial reasons. So knowing that sometimes he withholds, just like we would as a parent, we would withhold certain things that maybe our children want, but we happen to know that it's not the most beneficial thing for them or at that time for them, or they're not ready for it. And these things are different in every person's life, and they vary from season to season for our growth, for our own personal journey from glory to glory. And God knows what we need. So what I was witnessing was different people's responses to his sovereign choices. So the wall, the barrier, was his boundary, and it would be different in each person's life and in each season of a person's life. But the things that are on the other side of the wall, on his side of the wall, are things that he's not offered or given at that time. And so the responses of, people trying to climb over the wall or tear the wall down or take a sledgehammer to it to kind of take what's not been offered or what's been given, or to have access, instead of accepting his sovereignty, praying for the things that are needed, crying out to him for the things that are needed, or the hard thing that you're in the middle of. And what's needed in the midst of that hard thing, he's also the one who knows what's actually needed. Sometimes we think we know what's needed. Very rarely, at least in my own journey, it's like, well, yeah, that probably at the end of it all would not have been the most helpful answer. A yes to what I was asking for would not have been the most beneficial. It would have probably stunted my growth or diminished or hindered what he actually wanted to do. So just trusting in his sovereignty and being content within the boundaries that he has established in his choices for us, and just seeking him for what he's doing and crying out to him for what we need. It was an interesting vision and just a reminder for me to even look at my own heart and what is the posture of my own heart in those moments where I may feel like he's not answering me or he's not giving me what I think I need. Is just getting back to that place of trusting that he knows and what he provides is what I need, and seeking him for greater and greater understanding for what he's doing. Just really bringing my heart into alignment with his activity in my life. So I hope this blesses you, and I hope that you will join me for another Practicing Presence again. I'll see you next time.